Hello, my name is Jim Mullaney from SciTech Process Solutions. Today is Friday, October 25th, 2018. Today I'm doing a video inspection of a Floraware HTC 8020 cassette and box washer. This video will be uploaded to our YouTube channel for a customer to review and accept the quality of the rebuild. Because of that, we do not give their name out in the videos, but I do give you their purchase order number. That is 8056093. This customer also has purchased 2 units from us, and the cassettes and boxes they want to wash are going to be the Ultra Pack X9200, the Crystal Pack XS200, the Impact PX9200, and the ASM High Temp cassette. For this video, we only have 2 of the racks in here. The other racks are being finished, they're being built now. I will, though, give the customer the information. I'll send them PDF tonight of their drawings of the racks so they can see what the rack design is going to be. We'll also do a video of when the racks arrive to show them how they're simply loaded, and it's a very simple process. This system has a new HEPA filter they purchased, and we're going to send them information on where to get a replacement HEPA filter and the specs on that HEPA filter if they'd like to. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through the different modules of the system doing our rebuild and kind of review what we do and go from there. So this system takes about 6 weeks to remanufacture, depending on the quality it comes into, sometimes longer. This one's gone through a thorough remanufacturing process. So we'll start up in the head casing. I'll go over the control system at the end. So the head casing has been gone through. It's in excellent condition. We've gone through all the wiring. We've gone through the Omron controller. We had to redo some work on the HMI interface. We did that. We ohm out all the wires for the EMO circuit. We cleaned everything up. It all looks great now. So you can see the head casing is in excellent shape. That's one of the first things. If you ever have an issue with the box washer, the head casing is where all the communication goes to, and it's where your first starting point will probably be. So I'll close this. Second, I'll go into the chamber. For reference, you'll hear when we start the process of running the tool, there's an auto door lock. That's why we put this note here, press firmly to ensure it, because if you don't close it all the way, then the locks won't go down correctly. So these are the racks we have now. This is one of the customer's type cassettes right here. This one is not Teflon, it's just a plastic cassette. We also have some 8-inch high and low profile cassettes in here. These are 2 of the racks for the customer. They simply hook on like this. It's a very nice design. That's all you have to do. I'm going to move this one out of the way so we can show the inside of the chamber. Okay, so depending on as we acquire the tools, we cannot recoat the chamber. So sometimes the customers will receive coated chambers, sometimes not, depending on the configuration. This one happens to be the blue coating. It looks nice. It's been all clean. A part of our rebuild process, the top spray nozzle assemblies, we go ahead and take those apart. There's ball bearings in there. They're Teflon ball bearings that get replaced. We go through and replace. A lot of times we find missing parts, either the spindle or actually the spray arms. We do the same thing with the bottom one. It turns out these spray hubs can wear out. We actually sell brand new spray hubs and all the brand new ball bearings, and the brand new spray arms. So this whole module we can sell brand new with spare parts. We go through and check the O-rings and replace them on the back dampener. That dampener opens and closes in the dry cycle, and I'll discuss that during the dry cycle. These are all of the air nozzles. There's 7 different zones. What they do is they rotate, and we're going to show you that in the dry cycle as they pass through each other. We go through in the back and we change out all the chains and all the mechanisms to turn them. This system has gone through this week over 30 runs, probably 35 now, including today. It's been burnt in very nicely. We're happy with the quality of this chamber. We have to replace a lot of these Delrin pieces because they get old, they break, and we do sell these as spare parts too. So let me put this back in. I'll show you down below. Oh, for reference, let me show you how you load. If I was an operator, traditionally an operator, customers have stainless steel tables next to their box washers. In this case, they'll probably have a few because they have a lot of racks. They're going to have a total of 8 altogether. And then they load their cassettes or boxes on the rack. They bring it over like this. Simply, it's not too heavy. Lay it like that. You slide it on. One thing is, you see the Teflon runners. If those start to wear out, they should be replaced. It's simply Teflon PFA tubing. So that you would load it like that. I'm not going to start it, but you would just start it, close it, click it like that, and you would go into it. Let me go down to the bottom now. So there's the bottom chamber. So we have a note here, replace the HEPA on 10/9/2018. This has a brand new HEPA filter, part of the order. It's inside of this module, so we can't take it out for the demo. We rebuilt the motor. The motor becomes one of the failure points on the tool. The reason is customers tend to not clean everything off their cassettes. They might leave, labels and stuff on there, and as they get washed off, they get sometimes stuck in the pump mechanism, or sometimes what happens is those little white ball bearings, if you start getting old spindles, the ball bearings fall out and they get stuck inside the pump. We always completely take the pumps apart. This has a new pump head. It's in excellent shape. Down here, we have the Magnum Helix. We have leak detector and we have flow sensors. Those all been tested and calibrated. We also have the hot air pump. We do change out the springs and the spring mechanism. That's all new. We go through, there's flow sensors. Those are changed out, or checked and calibrated and changed out. And we clean all the Teflon tubing and replace as necessary. This module down here that's where the water fills up. The way the system works, when it's kind of hot because it's trying to cycle. When the water, it fills up here, fills up into the chamber until it hits the high sensor, and then it starts the wash cycle. And we're going to review that when we start the process. So the bottom chamber is in excellent shape. Part of what we do also is, traditionally these come with a lot of scratches on, because what happens is these doors can be locked with Allen keys, but they leave the doors open, and they open this door, and you'll get scratches when the door hits these. So we do the best we can and take out the scratches so it looks as good as we can. This one's in great shape. Let's go around back and I'll show you. If you go around back, here's the hot water heater. It's a separate module. The reason there's no front on this now is because we have to bring our 480 power into there. Traditionally in the fab, they're going to come through the top here, but we're not doing, this is a temporary facilitation, so we don't do that. This is the front panel that's going to come on, and the customer will bring their 480 into the top and hook into their system. Because we don't have a way for fab here, we don't have a huge exhaust system for most of our tools, so we have a temporary exhaust set up here with the blowers. One thing you'll find out is when we start the process, we have to have the blowers on so it gets very loud. So I'll review the tool as much as I can before we start it because it's harder to hear. Back here, these are your exhaust ducts. There's a flow sensor in there. These are the Bimba cylinders for opening and closing the duct. We have Bimba cylinders and chains. That's for making the air dampener, the air nozzles move. We have our surfactant tank here with our surfactant floats been tested. If you unhook this, you'll get a float alarm. It'll say low surfactant. Down here's our surfactant pump. That's been rebuilt in great shape. We also have an incoming DI filtration module. The customer has to put their own filter in because every customer has their own filter specifications, so we're not a filter company. They do that themselves. The back of the machine's been all cleaned, and it'll get re-cleaned again prior to being packaged. We have a thermocouple inside of the hot air duct. That feeds into the system so we don't overtap. And all of the solenoids, some had to be replaced. Those are solenoids in the top bank up there that actually work with the different air systems. So the back's really nice. This blue that's the standard color of the facilities. What happens is on the control modules, all these wires plug in and they're all coded to the control panel. And I'll show you what that is in a second. So we're okay. The back looks great. When I talk about that, this is our, I apologize for this is our 100 amp service because we have to have a transformer. And the system, normally we rebuild our tools inside of our final test clean area. This is our dry manufacturing. Because we need a 100 amp service, the size of this tool is done back here. So here you have your control modules. There's 2 of them, power boxes. So that's what I'm talking about. We have temporary wires going through. You'll have your own grommets going in. This is a temporary setup. Traditionally, most fabs use Unistrut, and they'll mount their control boxes on the back wall behind the tool, usually back in the chase area. Same thing with the hot water heater, and they don't actually have that traditionally in the fab area. I don't know at the company's site where this is actually going, so they'll have to do their own facilities as they deem necessary. Alrighty, so let me go a quick review of the control mechanism. The controls are pretty simple. There's not a lot of variables you can do. So these are the hot water heater and the dry temp controllers. So this you monitor the hot water heater, and this monitors the temperature of the drying air. The temperature is low now, only because the system is not drying. You'll see it ramp up. To get into the main screen, just hit enter. Very simple. So there's really 2 process cycles. There's a normal cycle, which is your traditional. The normal cycle is 3 washes and 3 rinses, then the dry. And It's dictated by whatever the timers are set, and I'll show you that. Dry cycle is a dry only. This is because if, let's say a customer for some reason had a process and they had to abort it and they had wet cassettes, they can run a shorter dry only cycle. Custom cycle is not activated. That's a custom software that was done for certain customers. It's not an option on this tool, and in fact, I've never seen it as an option that actually works, so we don't even know whoever had that through when these were made 20 years ago. The timer settings, this is what we're going to, this is where you can program. You've got your surfactant pump. We only have a 3 seconds, as you can see. If you want to change any of the timers, you hit program. Yeah, because it's older Omicron, you have to kind of wait a second. Let's say 5 seconds. Save. Now it's at 5 seconds. You would exit and be fine. I'm going to put it back down to 3 because that's the process we've been running. You always have to hit program first. 3. Save. Exit. Same thing with the wash and rinse timers. I'll just show you the wash one. We have a 30-second wash and a 30-second rinse. And if you want to change it, you simply hit program. And if, let's say you want to go 45 seconds, you have to wait for it to catch up. There we go. Save. Now it'd be a 45 seconds. I'm going to put it back down to 30 because that's the process we've been running today. And save. Alrighty, exit. Alright, same thing with the dry timer, the rinse timer. Same as wash, I won't change it. We have 30 seconds. And we have a dry timer of 30 minutes. As you can see, 30 minutes. So you can do longer or shorter. I'll talk about the dry timer in a second. View timers, this is how you can see an overview of your process. In this case, we have surfactant for 3 seconds, wash timer 30, rinse timer 30, dry time 60. The process, and it's not programmable, is 3 washes, 3 rinses, then the dry. So I'll exit that. Okay, so that is really the programmability of the tool. It's pretty simple in that sense. I'm gonna hit exit. Okay, again, to start the cycle at this point, you just hit the cycle, normal start. So what I'll go ahead and do now is, the wash cycle is, wash and dry is not too loud, but I have to turn on the air blowers, so it's quite loud. This is a dry cycle for 30 minutes. Yeah, you'll see that there's nothing to do. Once it starts, you just sit and watch it. So what we do is we're gonna turn off the camera after it starts. I'll show you when it goes into the dry, how it counts down, and I'll wait and I'll let you see how at least 1 or 2 of the air knives work, and you'll see how they cycle across. Then we'll turn the camera off. Well, we'll wait the 30 minutes. We'll set an alarm and come back about 30 seconds before so you can see the end of the process, how it ends, how to open the door, and how to check for the dryness of the cassettes and boxes. So, I think that's a pretty simple overview. What I'll also do, I won't do it now. When I do that final overview, I'll talk about SciTech Process Solutions, whatever products we offer for the front-end wafer fab. As most people in the United States know, we are the #1 leader of semi-tool, and now we purchased the Vertec SRD product line through Martech. We are now the OEM for Vertec 2 and all the spare parts. So we're the #1 spare parts for any rinser dryers in the United States and become a worldwide leader. We'll review that a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and act like I'm an operator. I load the rack, simply like that. Close the door. Oh, let me talk about the door. I didn't do that, I apologize. So we take the complete door apart in our rebuild process. The door seals always have to be changed out. The biggest headache you have with the box washer is getting small leaks and drips through the door over time because it's a plastic seal. We offer a complete rebuild kit on the seal. This whole thing comes apart. And so the customer can buy these kits. We offer new windows if they want to buy new windows over time. So on the tool, we can work with pumps, windows, door seals, spray nozzles, hub assemblies. We can replace the PLC. We have to second source that and do program of it, so we can do all that too. So just for reference. Alrighty, so I loaded the rack, or in this case 2. The 8000, which would be the 8010, 8020, and 8030, all are a dual chamber system that take 2 racks. So both are in there. I basically click, you guys hear a click. When I hear it, you're gonna hear the louder click, which is the lock and door mechanism. And then we'll start the process. And normal cycle. There we go, you heard a lock. So what happens now is that bottom DI tank starts filling up. Again, as I said, once it hits the sensor, it'll start. There is a countdown timer. See, you can see it's at 107, 106. If it doesn't fill in time, it'll abort. That means that there's something wrong with the DI water coming in. So right now it's filling, and now once it's filled, now the surfactant pump came on for about 3 seconds. There it goes, it just turned off. and you're gonna hear it start up. And then it's gonna wash, drain, rinse, times 3. And what I'll do is I'll back out of the camera so you can actually see it washing, you get a better idea. And then we'll go ahead and on maybe the second or third wash and zoom in on the controller so you can see all the countdowns. There you go, now it's washing. What I need to do before it goes to the dry is turn on my blowers. They have to be actuated in the dry cycle, otherwise it would have bored out. Glad I remembered just now. Now we have the blowers on. For reference on the controller, now you can see rinse cycle 1 filling, and it's filling back up. You'll notice, oh, I gotta turn on the hub. And actually the hot water heater, it'll start ramping up the temperature now. Alright. What happens is if you turn off the system or you EMO the system, the hot water heater turns off too, so you have to turn it back on. Now it's ramping back up. The hot water heater is it's a 480 volt hot water heater. It uses 3 modules and it heats up very quickly. You'll see that on the wash and dries, it'll cool down and heat up because as the cold DI water fills it, it takes a few seconds to heat back up. See it ramping back up now, the hot water heater? It'll ramp up pretty quickly. cycle is that the drain will come on, then the hot air system will start blowing, and those back dampeners open up, so it'll drain out. You'll see the drain on, and then when it goes into the drying mechanism, that's when we'll go ahead and turn the camera off. You'll see in a second. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Drain valve's open, so it's draining. Okay, I just heard the dampeners open. There goes that's the hot air system starting to blow. It's got that big pump I showed you down below. Now you'll see the dry temperature start raising. As it starts to heat on, you can see that the output's on towards the raise. This shows you the air heater's on, the blower motor's on. Here are the knife zones. It takes about 15 seconds per zone. We'll let it go through the second zone so you can see. Now it's on to zone 2. As I talked about, there's 7 zones and they're all going to rotate back and forth. That allows the air to spray in different angles to make sure it blows water off there. And you can see the drying temperature is rising up, and it'll rise up till it hits set point and then stabilize. Okay, so at this point what we'll do is we'll go ahead and turn the camera off. We'll set an alarm for about 27 minutes. We'll come back with about 30 seconds to a minute left. We'll see the end of this process, and we'll see how the final opening of the chamber works. Thank you. Hi, this is Jim Mullaney again. All right, we are down to 53 seconds. So what we'll do is now, you can see the air knife is now on 6. It goes through the processing. We'll go through, we'll watch it turn off. One thing I forgot to tell you, at the end of the process, there's a 120-second cooldown where you can't open exits there, so there'll be another 2 minutes at the end of this process, but it'll show you how it ends. There we go, 19 seconds left. Motor's still on because it's a cool down timer. The reason it does that is because the whole heating mechanism down below is hot, and it doesn't just want to just turn off after it's running for 30 minutes at 68, 70 degrees C. So now it'll do its cool down for 120 seconds. It's pretty quick, we're at 99. At the end of that, you'll see it'll come up with the process complete, and you'll see how I can open the door. Down to 35 seconds. We're almost done here. I can feel the door nice and warm. Nice and warm. I do suggest that with the Allen key that you lock this head casing. That way people just can't lift it open like I did. Same thing with the bottom drawers. That way in the fab they have to have an Allen key. Usually only a maintenance person will there. You'll probably put a sign on here that for maintenance access only. It's your guys' decision. Okay, we're about done. Here we go. Process is over. Okay, I heard the back dampeners just closed. Reset. Okay, and I can exit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn down the blower so you can hear me better. There we go, I don't have to yell. Okay, so now process is over. I always like to, it's a habit, push in. I hear a click, and open. Alrighty, woo, nice and warm, feel the heat. Okay, so let's just first take a look at the rack. All right, here's the Teflon cassette. Nice and warm, nice and dry. Beautiful. Here's the customer's type plastic one. This probably dried a long time ago. If you only ran plastic ones like this, you could probably take your dry time to 20 minutes, if not less. I'm gonna go ahead and put these there. Move this rack, look at the inside chamber. Woo, oh, it's hot. Actually, the metal's kind of hot. Okay, the chamber does not need to dry because what happens is it's only happening by evaporation, and if you know anything about evaporation, you have puddles of water, it's be almost impossible to evaporate unless you run like an hour, but it's very dry. The backs are dry, the top's dry. A few puddles down there, very small, but that's how it should be. Let's take a look at the other cassettes too to make sure they're dry. I'm sure they are though. Yep, nice and hot, nice and warm, no water, looks great. Okay, so put that back in there. Let me install the other rack back in. One thing I do suggest, that rack is pretty warm, 65 degrees C, it's pretty decent warm. Like when I had my plastic gloves on now, the nylon gloves, I guess, they're kind of hot. You should probably wait a good 5 minutes for an operator unless they have specific gloves. Most customers don't, as soon as it's over, pull the rack, load it then, because they'll tend to walk away because it's a long process. Maybe set a clock for an hour after they start and come back. Okay, so that is how that will finish this demonstration of this HTC 8020. In our minds, it's perfectly ready to go. It's been fully remanufactured as we talked about. The plan for the customer, as we discussed today, is that we're gonna upload this video to our YouTube channel tonight. We're gonna send it. They said they will definitely review it Monday morning, and that way they can get to us by 8 o'clock our time, we're on the West Coast. Excuse me. If they okay it, which we think they would, it takes about, like I said, about a day, thereabouts, to defacilitize this tool. We have to take all the 480 power off, we have to take the 208 power off, we have to defacilitize the back plumbing. There's a lot of work to do. And then we have to completely wrap it for packaging to ship in the crate. If everything goes quickly and goes well, then we can get it packaged for Tuesday, maybe by midday, and we can try to schedule a pickup for Tuesday. If not, I wouldn't see any problem with it being picked up on Wednesday. The customer did say that they do have their facilities basically pretty much ready, and they're gonna go ahead and it'll take 2 or 3 days to get there. Then they have to go through their shipping, receiving, uncrate it, and get into their fab, or their area. I don't know if it's actually the fab. And we will either be doing SciTech will be assisting the startup and training. That will either be in probably 2 weeks, or it'll be 4 weeks, depending on Thanksgiving holiday, because we told them today that wouldn't be applicable for our engineers to be flying out SciTech is closed Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving holiday, 4-day weekend for us. So talking about our company, SciTech Process Solutions, if you go to our website at scitechprocess.com, right here, you'll see all the equipment we do on the front end wafer processing. As we spoke about, we are the US leaders in non-OEM semi-tool replacement parts for the spin rinse dryer. We are now the owner of the Vertex/Martech product line for Richard dryers, service, and parts. We also offer a large variety of other wafer processing tools. We have particle counters, the KLA 10-core systems. We do metrology, nanometrics tools. We do deck type profilometers. We do the old alpha steps. We have a full line of high and low power microscopes. You can go to our website and see different configurations. We do etch and ash equipment, the traditional Branson barrel ashers. We have some tabletop tools we have in stock. One of the things we do quite a lot of is photoresist pump repair. We do IDI, sideboard, millipore. We do pumps, controllers, and repairs for customers. But if you go to our company website at scitechprocess.com, on the left-hand side, you'll see a variety of buttons, and you can actually access any of the stuff you need to see. So this will end my video demonstration. Again, my name is Jim Mullaney. Today is Friday, October 25th, 2018. Thank you. Have a great day.